Jackson on the drive, kicks it out for Man. Man, three-pointer, bang! Oh, what a man!
Magic down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12, good!
Here's Michael at the foul line, a shot on Elo, good!
The Bulls win! They win it!
Now there's a steal by Bird, underneath the DJ,
Going up over Bell, ball away. Yes! Yes! At the buzzer, he does it! Was there ever a doubt?
A Smith screen, Posey will defend. Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life.
It's a physical game. Oh, man, oh, God. A monster jam by Blake Griffin.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a video detailing, giving away some spoilers right now if you're watching on YouTube, but a video detailing my plans for the upcoming season. Of course, this is season 4 of Dime Dropper. I can't believe that I've been doing this for 4 seasons. It's kind of flown by, but at the same time, it does feel like 3 full years, and now it's going into a 4th, and I'm super excited to make it bigger and better every single year. As always, you already know the drill. If you aren't, follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Dime Dropper Pod. I don't know how long it's going to be till I get consistent on TikTok, but at least Instagram and Twitter, give me a follow on there at Dime Dropper Pod. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you know every single time I post a video, because I want to make sure you guys are seeing this content I'm trying to put out. All LA sports fans, all NBA fans, and fans of the history of the game, I want them to be here because I try to stay as in tune with the entire league as possible. It's not just the Clippers and the Lakers, even though they're the teams that throughout the season I talk about on a weekly basis. That's mainly because, man's only got so much time, right? I'm trying to have a life as well, and I'm not going to watch every single team play 40-plus games like I did 4 years ago. It's just not it. But shout out to everybody in the live right now. Raiders, Sprayers, Saint, Big Saint, my boy Ryan. But anyway, let's talk about the plans for the upcoming season, right? I'm not going to make this one too long. So, of course, the first thing I want to talk about are the lives. That's the bread and butter here. That's the one type of video I make that everybody seems to love is when I go live post-game. And there will still only be 2 teams that I will be going live for post-game on a consistent basis. And that's the Lakers and the Clippers. This is an LA sports channel, LA basketball primarily. And those are the 2 teams we focus on here. Remember, my first season doing this, I tried it with a bunch of teams. I just don't have that time anymore. 1, 2, it got redundant seeing every single team do variations of spread pick and roll throughout the league. Like, just everybody plays the same way now. Steve Clifford said it best, and I've echoed it for 4 years. And it's like, if you like this style of play, then it's fun. It's great. I'm not a huge fan. I think it's redundant, and I also think the regular season is treacherous sometimes to watch. I like that I do Dime Dropper, and I love that I love the Clippers so much because besides that, the experience watching the league regular season as a fan the way I used to is not the same, and it's mainly because of load management and the way the teams just don't really value the regular season. The teams that want to win championships do, though, don't value the regular season. So the regular season to me has never been worse than now. I've already said that a bunch of times, but let's get into it. Don't want to be too negative Nancy already as the season is coming up. But one thing is, though, I still love watching my Clippers. That's the reason why I still watch the regular season NBA and pay attention to it so much. And plus, I don't know, if I want to be a real historian of the game, you got to be kind of in tune with the now as well, right? So knowledge, I guess. Knowledge and making sure that I'm giving you guys accurate information because I do take this shit serious. But the lives, Clippers and Lakers only. I'm going to try to do more Laker lives, guys. I am going to try to do more Laker lives. But I will say Clipper lives are going to be compromised just a bit this season, and I'm just going to tell you why. This season, and I'm actually very happy to announce this on the channel because I don't think I have yet, I have season tickets for the first time in my life. I actually have a season ticket in section 207. It's the special thing the Clippers are doing since the last year in the Staples Center, and they kind of want to carry this into the Intuit Dome. It's this supporter section. I guess kind of like how, you see in soccer, they have the ultras behind the goal. I guess that's kind of what they're trying to recreate because Ballmer has this thing called the wall coming in the Intuit Dome, which is 51 rows uninterrupted of seats from the bottom, the baseline, all the way to the top of the arena. So no suites to divide it. into different tiers, basically 51 straight rows from bottom to top, fans on top of the other. He obviously wants to do that for atmosphere purposes, right? He wants to give us a good atmosphere and make us even louder, because in the Staples Center, it's built for hockey. The sound travels a lot. And I think Staples Center aesthetically is a beautiful stadium inside and out, but that needs refurbishing, by the way. But the atmosphere rarely does the stadium justice because, one, LA fans are just lax. And two, the stadium is built for hockey and concerts, and the sound is just kind of everywhere. So just to debut this, long story short, the Clippers are doing an all Clipper fan. You got to be a diehard. They interviewed us, kind of made sure that we were real fans, and you can't even sell the ticket because they don't want it going into the hands of a fan from an opposing team. So it's all Clipper fans, and I'm going to be in it. So I'm going to be at every game. The price was too good to pass up. I'm not going to say it on this live or on this episode, but let's just say it was well worth it. I never thought I was going to be an NBA season ticket holder until I got like bust down bread, but I will fucking take it. I'm going to be at every game damn near. I'm going to go to at least like 26 plus. At least. The thing is, though, sometimes life gets in the way. That's the thing. Here's the thing. Because the NBA, the Clippers are third priority in the stadium, we're going to have a bunch of weekend games, and I'll be able to probably make a lot of those, but we'll see. I got my own priorities as well. I'm definitely going to be at 25 plus games. I can kind of guarantee that. So be prepared for more vlogs than ever before. And that's part of why I'm going to be at less lives, or going to be doing less Clipper lives, is because I'm going to be at so many games. So it actually saves me work because I also have to do Locked On Clippers. And I still am the host of that. This is going to be my second year being the host of Locked On Clippers, and I enjoy doing it. And right now it's the move for me. So I am still the host of Locked On Clippers for a second straight season. That doesn't mean I'm not going to do Clipper postgame lives, and I'm not going to spam if the team's fucking up and all that shit that you guys love. I'm still going to be doing that, but I just won't be doing as many Clipper lives after home games because I'm going to be at so many home games. So I hope that's okay with you guys. I think I'm going to get some great content. And speaking of the vlogs, I want to talk about them a little more specifically. I'm going to switch to Clippers background here for the YouTube watchers, because I'm talking clips right now. So for those of you that I see at the games and you like the channel and you like my thoughts or whatever, maybe you don't like them, please feel free to be regulars on these vlogs. The whole thing is I want people to see what the personalities of Clipper Nation are like. The people say the Clippers don't have any fans, all this. I'm trying to give people a platform. I love the fans. I'm for the fans 100% over anybody. So I want to give differing perspectives a chance to speak. So please, when you see me at a game, ask me to be in the video. If you really want to give your thoughts, I really would love it. And it's great stuff for me. And plus, this season, I'm getting a new phone. So, because I'm eligible finally. I have an iPhone 10 right now. So all the vlogs you've been seeing, I've been filming on an iPhone 10. I think I'm going to get the new guy. And man, that quality might be so much better. So we're still trying to innovate out here. We're trying to get to a level where we're perfection everywhere. And we're a long way from that. Almost impossible to be that, but as close as we can get. You know what I'm saying? So the vlogs, I think, are going to definitely be a step up this season. No question about it. There's going to be more. And I mean, I'm going to get to see the best of the best. So that's going to be great for you guys to see that. And then, of course, as I said, Clipper lives, Laker lives, they will still be happening. As for other teams, someone said, if you drop that phone, it's GG's. Man, why are you putting this energy in the air in the first place? I have a pretty steady hand. I mean, I've dropped it here and there, but you just put a case on that thing. We should be straight. But anyway, so that's it for the vlogs. There's going to be a lot more. And by the way, speaking of that, check out my latest vlog about the Dodgers game 1. I have a short coming out about the Dodgers and their catastrophe yet again. But check out game 1 vlog. Playoff baseball, playoff anything is always great to check out the vlog to see what the atmosphere is like. And this was the worst playoff game I'd been to in any sport. Kid you not. The worst I've been to in any sport. So that's one thing. Anyway, that's it for the vlogs and the lives. By the way, super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime. Anything is appreciated for your boy, helping me with equipment and so on and so forth. These things cost money. So anything is appreciated. But let's talk about the other teams that I am going to be focusing on besides the Clippers and the Lakers. And when I say focusing, I just mean watching them more, especially in the beginning of the season, because the beginning of the season, even though I said what I said about the regular season and I hate it now, I still like the beginning of the season because you see the new additions and how they are with their teams, and you see things start to develop. And once I get a feel of what that team's going to be like, or the injuries start rolling in, then I take my foot off that and just, slowly eliminate to the point where I'm just watching Lakers and Clippers consistently. And I would like to chime in on nationally televised games like I used to when I was a kid. But every single time I put one on these days, and this is like not an exaggeration, there's always a star injured. So I don't even get to see anything about the full scope of things. And I'd much rather hang out with a friend or continue my historic dime line, which I'm going to get into later in the episode. Shout out to Cal's Takes. And by the way, Cal's Takes is a mod now. If you have any mod powers, just test it out right now. Put Raider Sprayer on timeout for 30 seconds. Can you do that? Raider Sprayer, don't take it personal. I'm just making an example of you. Okay, I don't like how that sounded. But try to see what you can do with it. You're a mod now. At least I believe you are. It should work. But anyway, let's talk about yes, Cameron Naselli, 217. No, it's 207, but yes, it is behind the basket. But still, I can see everything pretty decently. Anyway, these are the other teams I'm going to be focusing on. So when I mean focusing on, I just mean watching them more. I'm never going to go live reacting to a Celtics game or anything like that, or a game from another team. Maybe a primetime matchup where everyone plays, that, everyone's watching, I could go live after. But, oh, by the way, Raheed, if you want to be a mod, you're in here every single night. I would love for you to be a mod. I want some more Laker fans being mods, because when I go live for Laker games, a lot of my Clipper fan mods may not be there. So we need some more Laker fan mods. If you're a Laker fan and you're here every single night, or like damn near every single night, please let me know, because I would let you be a mod for this upcoming season. Another one, Hepatitis, see you later. Another guy who's in here all the time. You could be a mod for the upcoming season too. I need more Laker fans as mods. But anyway, I want to have like 10 this season. Let's get back to business. So, the teams, I keep getting off topic and sidetracked by the comments. The teams that I'm going to be focusing on and talking about at the end of live. So at the end of episodes of me talking Clippers or Lakers on a given night, I'll be like, you know what? I've been tuning into these guys. Let me tell you something about them. Similar to how I did last year, right? So, and I'm going to be always doing like mid-season about every single team, checking in. I'm going to be doing some preseason content before the season starts, talking about every single team. I'm not going to be doing it with other content creators, though, because I just don't have time to coordinate all that. I wanted to. I'll try to tap in with as many as I can throughout the season. And by the way, for the lives, I am going to be a little bit more lenient this season about letting people come on the lives, especially other content creators and fans of other teams. Sometimes I'm just pressed on time. You know what I mean? Because I got to do Locked On as well. And I'm a night owl. I stay up late, and doing both is tough when I try to be as consistent as I can be. But anyway, this man said, Raheed said, I'm going to respectfully decline. What do you think being a mod is? You just come to the lives and you have the ability to mute people or something like that. You don't have, it's not like you have to come to everything. But anyway, I would bring on fans as well. So if you want to tap in sometimes for a live post game, get your thoughts, kind of like a little radio style thing where I bring on listeners or bring on callers, I'd be down for that kind of stuff this season. I would. But if you are a content creator, like I'm talking a real content creator, passionate fan of a team, please tap in. Let's go post game one night. The thing is, a lot of people aren't down to stay up so late. I'm a late guy. I give it for the late night Pacific time West Coast crowd while I'm out here. But anyway, here are the teams, without further ado, that I will be having an extra magnifying glass on this season. And by the way, I always tend to go with teams not necessarily that are just interesting, but teams that it's mainly teams that have big changes, right? Last season, which teams did I do? Brooklyn, I was watching a lot of. Atlanta with DeJounte Murray. Dallas when they got Kyrie Irving. Phoenix when they got KD. But let's get to it. The first team I'm going to be having a close eye on is a team that probably maybe my third or fourth most fans from that particular fan base. And that is the Golden State Warriors. Why? Because they got Chris freaking Paul. Are you kidding me? I got to watch that. That's going to be must-see television. And of course, Steph Curry is one of those guys that he's gone to this point where I'm like, enjoy him playing at a high level while you can. Because he really is one of those guys, the all-time greats. And I've seen him from day one, his NBA career. I just got to, enjoy it. But the Chris Paul thing is hilarious. And by the way, this is not a season preview. So if you want to get my thoughts on Golden State, you're going to have to wait for that episode that's going to come out. But, oh my God, must-see TV. The next team, the Dallas Mavericks. Clock's ticking here for Kyrie Irving. Luka Doncic and him have to do something this season. And that means when I say something, I just mean at least make the playoffs, for God's sake. The West is going to be a bloodbath this year in terms of how many teams there are that are good. How many are great? I don't know. That's going to come down to health. I think 4 teams have the potential to be great, maybe 5. Potential, actually, a lot of teams. I'll tell you who's really great. Denver. That's who's really great. Phoenix should be great with their talent. The Lakers are very good, but this year they made additions, so I'd put them in the great category. The Clippers can be great if they're healthy. That's a huge if. Memphis, maybe they're going to be great this year. Maybe they're going to take that leap. Sacramento, at best, they're going to be very good. And I don't mean, when I say these kind of things, this is my criteria. This is not no regular season. When I say great and good, this is obviously in regards to winning a championship. I'm not just saying it. But anyway, the point is about the West, there's going to be a lot of teams that are good, decent at best. And so every night is not going to be an easy game. You're going to have tough games every single night. And the Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, I just want to see what happens there. The next team that I will be paying close attention to this season, the Houston Rockets. This is a league pass team to the T. They're not going to be on national television much. Ime Udoka is coaching again. Ime Udoka. Jalen Green now in year 3. Jabari Smith in year 2. They haven't impressed me too much yet. But now they have some structure with Ime. And they have Dylan Brooks, who there's never a dull moment watching. Fred VanVleet, who got way overpaid, but now he's got the starting role and is going to chuck, which I don't know if it's going to stunt the development of the other guys or not, but I'll tell you what, it'll be entertaining. They got Şengün, Big Goon. I actually really like him because he was working with Akeem, and I like post-up bigs with skill, and Şengün is one of those. People like to call him Baby Jokic. The thing is, he's a little bit shorter than him, and when I say a little, that's being generous. A couple inches shorter than him. Defensively, I don't know how good he can be, but I'm excited to watch him. And then you've got Amen Thompson, who's one of the best players in this draft class. So I'm super excited. They got Tari Eason, just a lot of young players. Jeff Green now brought in for some experience. I think there's going to be must-see TV. Again, I'm not going to give you where I think they're going to finish. We're going to save that for the upcoming preseason content. The Phoenix Suns are my other team I'm going to be watching. Hate watching, but watching. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, Yusuf Nurkic. That's going to be really interesting to see how that develops, how their chemistry builds or doesn't build. I think they'll be very good in the regular season and definitely more dangerous in the playoffs. I already said, though, if you want to hear my thoughts on them, even though I'm going to talk about it again in the season preview, if you want to hear my thoughts when they got Beal, you can check out that video. It was one of my lives I did this summer. If you want a shortcut, go to the playlist and go to 2023 NBA offseason. The other team, or another team I'll be watching closely, the Milwaukee Bucks. How could you not? Damian Lillard, Giannis. Do I need to say anything else? And then the Celtics. Obviously, the team of which I have maybe probably my 4th or 3rd most fans. I went to school at UMass. That community has a special connection with me, and I have a special connection to it. And the Celtics are just always, it's the Celtics. They're just like the Lakers. They're always in the thick of things. There's never a dull moment. And Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, that's going to be must-see television. So I will be very in tune with the Celtics basically all season. Then the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, who's not going to be in tune with them this season? Wemby. Next. Last one, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Chet Holmgren, SGA, Jalen Williams, Josh Giddey, and Lou Dort. I don't like the Thunder necessarily because they are, the trade with Paul George, and I don't want them to end up doing that great just out of spite because I want to say we won the trade, but I love SGA, and I think they're going to be really fun to watch, and I think they're very likable, so I'm going to watch them a lot. And then the last kind of these teams, I won't be really watching their full games much, but I'm going to be paying attention to them in highlights and stuff like that, and hopefully get to catch some of them with all these teams I'm watching. And that's the Orlando Magic, who, Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner are future stars in the league. Wendell Carter. I'm not trying to get too much into the preview, but point is they're a young and exciting team. Washington, they're not going to be good, but I kind of just want to see Jordan Poole in the beginning chuck. They'll be a team I watch for 2 or 3 weeks. Then, I'll watch them in highlights. Portland, just a little bit of DeAndre Ayton, Scoot Henderson. You want to see those young players. Ayton now has been in the leagues this will be his 6th season, but I want to see how he does having really his own team, and then Scoot Henderson will be exciting. And then Detroit, Cade Cunningham, James Wiseman. I'm interested in his development, although there's so many bigs there with Duren and Isaiah Stewart that I don't know how much run Wiseman's going to get. But Cade Cunningham, if he's healthy, I would like to watch him play just a little bit. But as I said, these teams I'm probably not going to be watching full games of. The other teams, though, Spurs, OKC, Celtics, Bucks, Suns, Rockets, Mavs, and Warriors. I know that's a lot of teams, but I'm going to be having a close eye on them to start the season. And when I get a feel of what I think they're going to be, then I'll kind of stop watching them in full games regularly. Anyways, now let's talk about some of the shows I'm doing this year. As you guys already know, I'm doing the 4 Sportsmen on Sundays with Flea, Fabian, and All Ball. That's kind of just to have more of a roundtable discussion where we talk about the hottest topics in the NBA. We've started in the off season, and obviously it's not as much to talk about, even though at times the NBA offseason is more exciting than the regular season these days, which I don't know if it's a good thing to say that about the offseason or a shitty thing to say that about the regular season. But the point is, the offseason has its peaks and valleys, and it has its exciting moments. But overall, during the season, there's just way more to talk about. So the 4 Sportsmen every Sundays from about, I want to say, anywhere between 3 to 7 Pacific time is when we'll go live. And we try to do that every Sunday. And then the news show that I announced on Instagram and Twitter, but I haven't made an announcement to YouTube yet. And that is basketball on Figueroa with my guy, Edwin Garcia, who's the beat writer, one of the beat writers for the LA Sparks, and a writer for Silver Screen and Roll with the Lakers. We are going to be doing it once a week, and it's just Lakers and Clippers. What's good with them, basically, on a weekly basis. A little back and forth, just talking about what's good with the LA basketball teams. And, of course, the LA Sparks in the summer. It's not WNBA season. Right now, it's the finals of the WNBA, actually. Some really good hoops going on. But the Sparks are not in season. So when they come around, we will be talking about them as well. But as of now, Lakers and Clippers, Edwin and I, that'll be on this YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, and it will be on podcast, not under Dime Dropper, but as Basketball on Figueroa. And if you don't know what Figueroa is, if you don't live in Los Angeles, Figueroa is the street that Staples Center is on. Obviously, this will be the last year that both Los Angeles basketball teams will be playing on Figueroa. Then, last but not least, guests. I know I've been saying that I want to get more guests on, and I'm not talking about the guests during lives like fans and all that. I'm talking Dime Dropper featuring episodes where we have a guy that's either involved in the NBA or NCAA. I have people in mind. I'm sorry that I haven't delivered yet, but trust me, guys, just trust the process. It is coming. I can promise you that. And I want to do some of those during the season. So I hope, even though there's going to be so much other content of me talking about what's going on during the NBA season, I hope when I have a big guest on, y'all are in tune for that and checking that out as well, because that's what ultimately is the big time, right? Talking to people that were in the league or played college, this and that. Phoenix Plays East says, get Swipa on the pod again. Swipa, the Denver Nuggets fan. Yeah, we'll probably have Swipa on again. No problems. Congratulations to him, by the way, becoming one of the hosts of Locked On Nuggets, joining the Locked On family. And then the last one, the big one for I have a big section of fans that love this content, and I love these people that do the Dime Machine, the classic journey that I'm on. That really tends to stagnate throughout the regular season. I'm not trying to let that happen this time around. I'm hoping with the fact that I'm going to more games and I'm doing less lives and that I'm more comfortable as Locked On host now, having done it for a year, that I will be able to still continue on the journey and still make progress and release content that you guys watch even during the season. Because it's really, that's the hardest stuff to work on, is finding that footage, talking about it, breaking it down. I'm trying to help you with those GOAT debates. That's what I'm really trying to do. But the Dime Machine stuff, whether it be talking about those eras or the film breakdowns, Dime Machine film breakdowns, now there's Dime Machine flashbacks where I do basically podcasts about it. I still want to do those, and I'm still going to try to do those. As far as new kinds of videos, like video essay stuff that I plan on doing in the way future, all that, those aren't probably coming for a bit. I still will try to release some highlight reels throughout the Dime Machine, but it's a lot of stuff, right? I'm going to keep it going as is, and make sure to support. Make sure to be here every single night whenever you can to get my thoughts on, obviously, the LA basketball teams primarily. But of course, after I talk about that for the podcast people, I still want to go live and hear your thoughts. I answer every question. So if you want to ask me about other teams, I will always answer those. I'm just strictly talking to the listeners on podcasts that only listen, or, sometimes listen, whatever you want to call it, that I won't be talking about other teams every night like that. And I won't have lives really, unless it's a huge matchup where everybody plays, that I'll be going live or having episodes to talk about a game that's not involving the Lakers or the Clippers. But anyway, that's it for the podcast version of this episode. Thanks so much. I really hope you're excited for season 4 of Dime Dropper. We're coming in bigger and better than ever. Hope you enjoy the preseason content I'm going to make previewing all 30 teams for the upcoming season. And of course, it's almost time. Peace. What's up, y'all? Read the comments. I've been reading them, and I've been showing them a bit. Raider Sprayer says this season will be known as, wait for it, Dame's Revenge. Michael Toss has bowed down to King Dorina. Come on, man. You got to make a better, got to get my name right. What's up, Cambaselli? Good to see you, man. I can't believe Raid declined being a mod. Do you even know what you do? You do nothing. You don't have to do anything. It's okay. Yeah, Raider Sprayer says screen protector is a major key alert, and says Thunder are scary if they stay healthy. All stakes, right? Said well deserved. So you could do it. Man, that's interesting. How do I do this? If I star you, what does that even mean? What's the star mean? Oh, I guess that's just for me and my StreamYard. Interesting. So Asher says, Dime, do you think the Suns have poor pick and roll defense with Nurkic? Well, Nurkic isn't a good defender in the pick and roll. Really comes down to what their point of attack defense is looking like. And I mean, they have some decent guys, but I'm a little skeptical on that. And I have no way of telling you because the season hasn't started. I'm not going to take anything seriously in preseason, nor am I going to watch the Suns in preseason. I only watch preseason because I have to. I don't like doing it. I wouldn't do it if I wasn't Locked On host. I don't like preseason anything. Kyle Stakes says, I'm from the Philippines. Won't be a big deal for you, Dime. Right? Says, I bet Celtics and Bucks are going to be two of them. Well, you were right. Hepatitis See you later says, Damon Giannis experiment will be must see. Right? Said the Rockets got the steal of the draft and Cam Whitmore too. My cousin Amir says, hi. What's up, Amir? Make sure you subscribe to his channel, Team to Beat Miami Heat. Says, better be watching the deepest team in the NBA. That's supposed to be the Heat. Nikola Jovic. Fuck the Celtics. Heat busting the Celtics ass again. Book it. Jimmy owned Drew last playoffs. Right? Said Heat losing in the finals again. Phoenix Gen Z says, Miami. Do you want to be a mod, by the way, Phoenix Gen Z? You're hitting here every night. Miami will pull off another finals run somehow. We'll see. Even Amir says, I'm not sure, man. We got to get lucky. Raiders Sprayer says, I didn't think about y'all beat with OKC when I said that. Yeah. Well, shout out TT Wims says, let's go Clippers. OKC ran off with y'all bag. Well, who's made it to the Western Conference Finals? They haven't even made the playoffs since the trade. So actually, they made it once with Chris Paul in the bubble, and they lost first round. Did I mention the Raptors? I'll talk about them in the preview, but there's not much to say, Phoenix. You already know about that. Whether you'll watch some of that prison ball. A dime a cousin, bro. Not gonna lie, Mr. Labs is Oh the Great. I was gonna call Oh the Great, actually. It's funny you mention him. Raider Sprayer says regular season been dead since guys like Jordan's, Iverson's, Kobe turned it over to the new era. No, let me think when the last great regular season to me was like 2016. That was like elite. After that, it's been all downhill. These 2020s has been absolutely atrocious. Like it's been unwatchable sometimes. It's like not serious basketball. It's not even real basketball. I go to the games all the time. It's literally like pickup ball sometimes, just running up and chucking. Raider Sprayer says intensity game by game was just different. My boy TC, chest your modding powers. Says Dimes live back. I'm tearing up. I wish you guys could run the comments. Is that a possibility that you guys can run the comments? He says, I know Figueroa, bro. Yeah, you worked at Staples Center. That's different. Right? Said we finally getting Terrence Mann. I don't know about Terrence Mann. I don't know about any in-season players. TC says, we got big plans for guests. Stay tuned. Ooh. Kyle says, not going to lie. I want to see about you and Jason Timp. He works on the volume. I mean, he's never really interacted with my content. He knows the modern NBA pretty well. I feel like he's a closet LeBron fan, though. He says he's a Laker fan, but the way he talks is very LeBron fan-like. Even though last year I thought he was pretty objective with him. But he also thinks that hand checking was a myth back in the day, which is ludicrous. Anyway, Raiders says, Swipe, I don't want no smoke. No, I mess with Swipe. He's good people. Right? Did you collab with Ball? Don't stop. Relax. That guy said that Oscar Robertson and Jerry West weren't as skilled as the average high school phenom today. After you can't, no matter how many decent takes you have, I lose respect for you when you say things like that. Just don't overburden yourself. Thank you for that, Phoenix Plays Z. Help me by being a mod. Y'all both love pure hoopers. Come on, man. Yeah, offensively, I like guys that can get buckets from every level in different ways, but he doesn't prioritize defense in the slightest. He thinks the name of the game is just getting buckets. I think it's defense and rebounding. Raider Spirit says your flashbacks are fire content. It's a unique angle based on what's out there currently. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That's the stuff that I really appreciate that you guys watch because I work hard on that, and that's real history. That's real learning. TT Wim says, smash that like button, lads. Already answered this. It reminds me of like Sports Century style. I used to love those specials. Facts. I wouldn't call myself on that level, but I appreciate that. Kyle's Take says, your thoughts on the first few minutes of CP3's Warrior preseason debut? You act like I watched that shit. Who in the world would guard the fifth starter on Phoenix? Who is the fifth starter on Phoenix? Grayson Allen? Josh Okogie? Do they still have Torrey Craig? I don't know. Clippers are getting revenge on the Suns this year. I would love nothing more, TT Wims. I hate them. Phoenix Gen Z says, I noticed the Rockets have the pick and roll with Şengün actually guarding at the level of the screen rather than hedging, than dropping. They should be the go-to coverage for slower bigs. Would that make sense that they're the best to be coming out if they're slower? Wouldn't that be that they be getting beat off the dribble? I feel like bigs that are in drop are like good at containing and not as fast, right? Because they're slower. I don't know. I think what it is you got to have active hands. Not many bigs actually, when they come out and hedge screens, have active hands when they come out. And plus, the NBA doesn't allow bigs to put as much contact on hedging screens. Like they don't actually let you hard hedge, with contact like they used to. Everything's a fucking foul now. That's why they're coming off screens with no resistance. And they don't really let you get over screens the same way too. In the playoffs, they obviously turn it up a little bit and swallow the whistle, but it's not the same anymore. So I think it's a decent strategy if you have enough backline help. Even if you have your hands up and active, the spacing of today's NBA just makes it really hard to not give up a good look when you do that. You have to have athletes rotating, and I think Houston might be able to do that because Şengün, if he's in drop coverage, to me, you want to have your really great rim protectors in drop. That's what I would go with. Amir says NBA is also super soft. No shit. Moises Canega, good to see you, man. Said you can never fully count out the Heat. I'm not counting them out. You'll see my thoughts on the previews. Kyle Dominic Hughes says, what I miss in the regular season is the hype of Saturday primetime and Sunday showcase. Now no one even plays on those games. I couldn't have said it better. Robert Paulson says, did you see Gilbert say he'd score 100 in the 90s? We're not even going to entertain that clown. Gen Z said, did you end up reading that top 100 list? Again, clowns that we're not going to entertain. Jason Tim, a Braun fan. I thought always people accused him of being a hater. Maybe that's recent stuff, but he's definitely not a hater. Jason is a Braun fan, but gets overcritical sometimes, but he got into the NBA because of Braun. There you go. Raid said, are there 34 players better than Kyrie Irving? No chance. But I think he could be in like that 25 to 30 range, honestly, just because he's not being reliable lately. But we'll see this season. I think he's going to be good, but I'm not trying to give up too much for the preview. Amir says Clippers win prediction this season, and will Kawhi play over under 50 games? The second question, I have no clue. I can't predict the future with the injuries. As far as the win prediction, you got to tune into the preview. Phoenix Gen Z says, I feel like if you have your hands are active and you're trying to show size, it can be effective. That's absolutely true. Kyle Dominic Hughes says, this would be a good question. Do you have to be a good basketball player in order to talk ball? No, you don't, but it definitely helps. It definitely helps having played any level, pickup, school ball, club ball. I don't think it's that much of a difference. You played high school or club, or high school versus pickup, and you've always played against, depends who you're playing against. If you're just playing against guys that aren't serious, then it's not as obviously relevant. But if you play against players that were decent and serious about basketball and throughout many years, then yeah. If you've been a part of teams, organized teams in basketball at any level, at least some level that's serious, you know what I'm saying? I think that's relevant. But if you play as well in any capacity, even just pickup, it's much more respectable than if you're just haven't even touched the ball. However, some guys that haven't even touched the ball could be more knowledgeable than guys that are amazing basketball players. Here's what I'll say, right? There's two different things. There's being X's and O's savvy, and I think a large like that that having played really helps with that. X's and O's and stuff like that. But the knowledge of the NBA and like who's good and stuff like that and who's playing well, that has nothing to do with how much basketball experience you have. That really is how much you're watching and how much you're paying attention. Because guys in my live will have more knowledgeable takes during the season than Shaq on TV. But like, you guys don't necessarily know more basketball than him. You know what I'm saying? He's played at the highest level. So he knows X's and O's and little things about being great that we have no fucking idea about. So there's levels to it. Right? Says, I'm also really interested to see what this dude Harden does. Like, is he really just going to sit out and whine his way to another stacked team? I hope so. But not whining his way to another stacked team. Phoenix Gen Z says, I think dropping is a death sentence, man. Too much pull-up shooting. But guys aren't good in the mid-range, though. Like, they neglect the mid-range game. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's not that bad a strategy. But I've always been pro hedge and recover, dude. You don't want to let NBA players come off screens with a line, with a head of steam with nobody cutting it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's insane. But new era. Amir says, when's Harden doing it next? Raider Spurs says, Kyrie was low-key playing well as ever on both ends last year. I wouldn't say as well as ever. I have loved slandering him over the years, but I just couldn't do it last year. And when he went to the Mavericks, he did try to play D. Phoenix Gen Z says, I played with Malcolm Brogdon's buddy and got cooked. Well, Amir says, you see the NBA GMs at a survey and none of them voted Bam as a top defensive NBA player? Yeah, and they voted Kawhi. Isn't that ridiculous in 2023? Right. All right, guys, that's it for me tonight. Thanks for joining me. Let me know what you think of my plans for the season. Comment which videos of mine. Please do this, by the way. There's 16 of you in here, so I should see at least 10 comments and some likes. But comment what your favorite kind of video that I do is in the comments. Have a great night, everybody, and I'll see you soon.